Against my better judgment, I'm playing more of this. My room smells awful right now, and I have no idea why. Navia line law. It smells. It smells like baby oil whenever I'm cleaning my belly button. I don't know why. It only started, or at least I only started smelling this a few minutes ago. I have no idea why this is happening.
The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Which is more valuable, unlimited Mora or unlimited time?
Time. If you have unlimited time, you'd have infinite time to get as much money, to get everything you want. And infinite time to do literally everything else. Of course, this all depends on what they mean by infinite time. If it's not immortality, I ain't bothering.
Please state your business here.
I'll
The
choose
Chief
infinite
Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Sure.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that—
Hey, don't you recognize us? Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. I'm in contempt.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the— Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is—
Thanks so much.
That was easy. Let's go before she changes her mind.
Please come in.
What the fuck? I didn't do that, I didn't press anything. My hands weren't even on the keyboard. My left hand was on something else. That's on my pants.
Sorry
It's a
about
deck.
it, Monsieur Nervalet.
I'm shuffling
We only
decks.
let you get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
And free. I thought he was busy. I guess the guard just says that out of habit. Regardless.
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem.
What was that all about?
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional.
And what are you trying to say? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case. Yet in your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared if you truly regret my father's death. Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his everything? Was hanging on a thread at that moment. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes.
It's nice that there are actual tears now.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
A few scenes before
You
didn't
and my
have.
father are truly alike.
Only had
You
implied
keep all
tears.
kinds of things in your heart and never say. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well my apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Just so you know, you asked for that new. That's my nickname for you now. Nouvellette is a mouthful.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there's...
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder,
What is it? Did you think of something?
yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah, and if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I
we're
not
quite
connect
stupid.
the dots? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom
As
of
in,
my
like,
father's case for sure.
Straight up took 4
Yeah,
hours
we're
to
gonna make
figure out we
progress
were
for sure
dreaming,
this time.
stupid.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? All right, then I'll wait for you at Poisson.
I don't get any daily commission rewards here, but after some thinking and calculations, I have way too many quests I could be doing anyway. But even if I did finish the Archon quest a little earlier, it literally wouldn't affect anything by the time the Pyro Nation gets released. Where am I going? Oh my god, I was following the cards. Hassan is a kilometer away! Hey, yo, I draw the 3 of a kind. That's awesome. I'll replace 2 cards. Still 3 of a kind. That's still very powerful. Just for fun. That's a Joker. I don't play with Jokers. Two pairs, 7s and J's. Hello.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. Well, my father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our tastes in a gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you... Paimon was confused why a group with such a history, but now that Paimon has seen this ship for her...
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began after...
They might have it good for a while, but it ain't.
Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Melus?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who...
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost... If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side... And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety. As he oversaw Poisson,
It's a drug.
my father was
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. But no matter how much they threatened, not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind...
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold this. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret. And the man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, but, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belonged to a You're right. We still don't know what happened.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful. I think this third person. On that note, however, even though this will not please, our opponent is insidious and cruel. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former, there is no need to follow your father's path.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should— Was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he— Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death? I've never accepted that. Ever. I want to find out the real answer.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliant.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between... But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation...
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare... And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to, but as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew.
Right, so nobody...
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time.
No,
No, they,
I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
she was
No
almost
father
killed
wants
once,
their daughter to
a
see
little
them
while
weak and
ago.
haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful.
So he chose to die in silence.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me, I'm sure he'd be
That fool. No. He might have set up everything precisely because... Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Malus, what was the key?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, when he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't. But if you want to use it against the enemy...
Why? If we know where the place is...
You mustn't forget
No.
that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous... There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal... The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed.
Then, in that case, why not work with...
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case.
That's true. But things are different now. It should be a lot...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this.
I am the butler, after all. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time...
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that when I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled after several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, the first is Florent, Spina de...
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the... Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, there's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. The boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but not...
So, they're like a sister?
Yes, you can say that. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information, but although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always...
I see. These are all to think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right...
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the court.
Of course. And thank you.
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit.
Aw, thank you so much,
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth.
Oh god, we're still doing this? Is there gonna be another trial?
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy...
Thank you for arranging everything for us. Excuse me, miss.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I know only the full truth could...
I'm sorry. I appreciate. On the matter regarding my husband,
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless. He had many regrets. And so when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he tried to be as careful as he could. But
they found out about...
Papa didn't say that exactly. But Papa...
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized. I don't know that for sure. But you... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had... Even if he fired the shot that killed...
But Mama, why is Papa always wanted to be a good...
Well, things aren't always as...
Yeah, Papa would...
Then you should hold on to that. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol?
Oh.
Thank you. For everything.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak...
You really think so? That's the first...
We're definitely doing this again.
Born of ice and frost. Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard of...
Yeah, I've heard. With something...
It also reminded me, on the day that after my partner here put the dots together can you do me a favor and try to
let me think. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger, but when I got there, it was already too late.
So you also remember 2 gun...
Indeed. The guards said that the first shot didn't hit anyone. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the tape. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person.
It's a good thing I always carry
About
2
the clothes
guns.
left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But hold on. If that's what had happened, he didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine. Did he lose all faith in the courts? After...
About that, Malus told me I'll tell you everything.
I understand. And if I may just say one more thing. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to ride no matter what others might say.
Don't worry. I will... You and all our other comrades at this...
Upstanding guy. Definitely not the guy, right? Sure, we're going back to the city. Ugh. I want to lay down. Can't believe this is what I'm doing for the last few hours before exam. What, you think I'm regretting playing games instead of studying? No, I'm regretting that I could be doing something much more fun. But I don't really have anything else left to do right now, so... Well, I technically do, it's just... I don't want to do them.
Hey,
not right
Thierry!
now.
It's me!
I want...
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that...
Oh, so you...
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also...
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance.
I'm not the only one who smells it?
Callus did a fantastic job running the town. Building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours?
Yes. These two, what happened at the Opera House, made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to...
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be... If you want to go through the original files...
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
Of course. Without them, why do you ask? We definitely can't.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the...
The smell was only around half an hour ago.
If you hypothetically wanted to do something against me...
I only started smelling
all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my ability. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You cannot. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you,
I know,
those
like
mecha
I said,
were definitely
it's
private units.
the strongest in this room.
Certainly not cheap. So whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both.
Oh. No. Then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with... I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so...
It's just new, that makes no sense. Oh, whoops. No, don't start a virtual camera, that's stupid. I know, I don't know either. I don't get it. I haven't farted ever since dinner ended. And I didn't fart during dinner either.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni. Just in your room. Ano yun? Is that new?
It's always been there, I'm pretty sure. It's just dirt. Be it from rain, with the paint and stuff, I don't know. Let me get a closer. Oh shit, I died. Damn it. Whatever.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know?
Yeah,
You can just say Navia's looking for him.
got cocky.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Whatever killed it was
You were
very
at the
recent.
Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already
That
imagine
body has
everyone
to
in
be disposed
Fontaine
of.
discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Everything smells eventually, Margaret.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation.
Everything dead.
Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I
For
was reminded
example,
of your father's
ants. You'd
case right
think
away.
with how tiny they
Is
are,
that
you'd
what
think
you're
they wouldn't have a
investigating
smell.
now?
But I'm sure you and I
Exactly.
are familiar with that
I still
ant
don't
smell.
have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Blind
Oh,
luck.
you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it
And
seems things are
Paimon
heating
drank
up
your
again.
thing on accident.
The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, the Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests.
So it turns out the
Then I
smell
heard
was
the
coming
sound
from
of a
a
gunshot,
lizard.
and the rest was history.
It was killed quite brutally. Like I said, it got
It's okay.
to death.
No need to push yourself. We'll ask
A
around
hole
some
is
more.
torn
See if there
into
are
it.
any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good.
Sliced
Just let me
clean
know if you ever
open.
need Mora.
Almost cut entirely in half, cleanly from the head
All my
to
wealth
the
comes
tip
from
of its
Callus's
tail.
patronage and support. I'll
The tip
spend
of its
however much
nose.
it takes to clear his name.
Well, it's purely in its chest cavity, stomach thing, and a little bit on the neck. And a little bit on the tail as well. It's a very wide cut. Whatever did it, it's quite the ferocious foe. Kinda scary to think all of this is happening within the ecosystem of bugs and critters in our home. And the fact that I only smelled this a little
We've
while
talked
ago
to all three
means
suspects.
it
Purely
happened
based on their
literally
conversations with me.
while I was just lazing
None
around.
of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's
Doing
to be
my own
expected,
stuff.
though. If a single
was a
conversation's
violent
all that's needed to find them out,
The
then my
lizard
father
didn't
wouldn't have
even
needed
put
to
up a
investigate
fight.
the case for so many years.
It could not even escape.
Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Yikes, poor bastard.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told the... If I had to guess, he probably
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still... Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead?
Given everything that's happened since... But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
I have no idea. The police guy.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use.
Even though he himself already stated.
I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about...
Yeah, me neither.
Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to... If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and...
Alright. Marcel's a little too old. Is it literally just mustache guy?
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father,
Well,
and
he
thus
was
had
also
the best
guy that
chance of
gave
learning
the
about his
police
dealings
info.
with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work...
So you're saying he's too broke to afford him?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able...
By a process of elimination.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him.
Well, at least I got all
And
the
they
dialogue.
worked together on a large number of projects. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine,
Unless
though.
we were forced to
After
go
all,
through
Uncle
the
Marcel
options
has been
either
around
way.
since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own Who could it be?
Here it comes. I'll be right back, I need water. Yep, it still reeks. Let me take a picture of it. I don't want to get close to it, but I also want to try performing an autopsy on it. Just so I know if whether or not what killed it will be a danger to me as well, especially on my sleep, you know? I'm no expert, but with my memory and the current circumstantial evidence, I should be able to perform a rough investigation. And some Googling. Dang it, this camera sucks. By the way, it still smells. It still smells. Well, I've never smelled one, so I wouldn't know. Noise is coming from our light directly. Not much I can do about that. It is just a cheap home house.
Yan po ng pusa.
And it was slashed open directly from the stomach.
Ayan. Sino ang pumatay sa kanya?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And this is not a lizard. Lizard ba yan?
Yes, see its webbed legs and long tail? It's hard to tell from the picture, but that top right there is supposed to be its head. Whatever, maybe it's due to rigor mortis, but its head is like this now. The fact that rigor mortis is already setting in, although they're not vertebrates still, I know.
Sa akin namin terrace.
I don't, I'm sure.
We have,
Either some nasty critter joined our house without us knowing, or there's just something that
ano
did
ba
this
yun? Nakaano
that we
sa
don't
gitna na
know.
ano?
That's our light.
Yung sa gitna.
That's the thingy you use to put in the curtain. All three of them. There's 3 prongs.
Piling ko po yun ng pusa. Kumita na ako kumain.
That would suck. Well, you're doing general cleaning tomorrow.
Hindi ko na ito. Yan, binuksan ko yung ano, medyo maano yung hangin, no?
Maybe.
Hindi na kulog eh. Kulog ng amoy.
If it is feces or either way, feces or dead body, that smell will not be coming out for quite a while.
Okay lang may pasok ka pa bukas, hindi ka patutulog eh. Masarap.
I've never been able to sleep easy these past few days on account of winter holiday festivities and all that.
Bali, tapos na na. 3 days ka na lang naman.
I might still be up till next week.
Bakit? Why?
Because my first subject is not having classes, and therefore no exam today. That's why my classes are 10 o'clock. Police guy, right? Really? It really is Marcel?
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair, and the suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be... We need far more solid proof before we can hope to...
Navia, here you are. I've been looking for...
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Why?
What? Is that some...
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
If I know anything, it's that
he's
the
been
last
accused
thing
of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had any...
That's what I thought was strange about it. So I came... If the charge against him stands, then
I'm
it'll be
gonna
next to
defend
impossible
another
to get the
Fatui.
guards to support any of our planned investigation.
Right. Because they'll think they've already...
Yeah. And it'll be a lot hard...
I understand.
Time to go visit child.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my partner.
Since I'm not
Since
from
this is a trial
Fontaine,
about the serial
it'll be safest
disappearances
for me
case,
to do it.
the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving... You're right. This is our best opportunity. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back...
We'll help you, just like you
Okay,
helped
I
us
hope
in
it's a
Winnie's
domain
trial.
and I get to fight shit.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver. When did you
Well,
two get here?
That's quite convenient.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our... It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Okay, I didn't bring it up, but now I'm really
Thank you
suspicious
so
of
much.
Melis.
Then, let's make...
See you then!
Now I'm actually suspicious. I had reason to doubt him still. But this is just too convenient. Oh shit, that's a quest already done. Really? God damn it. Whatever, let's make this a whole 2 hours, just like old times. I was gonna wait until the end of the Archon quest, but I guess I may as well say it here. Don't expect me to make any more videos. I'm recording purely just the Archon quest, because I want to see my reactions. Especially
Now that
regarding
Navia has set
Farina.
out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Navia's story quest and all that other good shit.
Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Look at that. It's a freebie. It's also where we needed to go.
Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't... Ah, you're right. An important place like Navia's probably arguing up a storm right...
Oh, she's defending child. I wonder what happened. She'll be like, yo, I'm Navia. Do you know the Traveler? Yeah, I just so happen to be friends with her, so don't worry. I trust you, and I'll defend you. And Tartaglia's like, hell fucking yeah. being friends with a traveler really does have benefits. I don't know, I don't think he'll say that. I don't think Navia will say those things either. Oh, we're actually gonna see what happens. Never mind. We're not having quizzes, exams for programming. I hope we don't have quizzes for... Oh, but that'd be really awkward. On Monday, my classes will be 7 to 10 and then fucking 4 to 5. That's a long-ass break time. I may as well go home during that time.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
Oh no.
In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorenne. I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime
Okay,
suspect
yeah, this
for
makes
a
so
major
much more
case.
sense for Child to say.
This isn't the place for you to be...
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the way. Then why don't you duel me too? Huh?
No. That's not what I'm...
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
My child doesn't have a defendant.
I told you it couldn't be one of the
defender.
Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only talked, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit, and if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be...
Oh.
Isn't
A young
the law
lady has
supposed to
charged
be
in and offered
everyone
to
is
clear my
innocent until
name.
proven
How
guilty?
fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and... So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted.
They do the guilty
then, Miss
until
Navia,
proven innocent
Who
bullshit.
is the person you would like?
That person is...
No one! Fuck! Case records.
Something's not...
No, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, no, that's still not important. Alright, there you go.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in...
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Ros...
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Oh my god.
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter.
Yes, and you
Committing
guys
to the
are
charge
charging
also means taking
Tartaglia.
on the legal responsibilities and if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation.
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Bruh.
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding.
Very well.
What?
In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
You can self-progress.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearance.
Navia, do you really think that I was... Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I, if that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that...
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Fuck, I can't use spacebar.
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clorinde in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
How the fuck do we even refute any of these?
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the...
What do we have?
Something...
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, it was already written there. Something relating to 3 people. God damn it, I don't know. I just give up.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Mutually in our favor. Apparently.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques'...
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech...
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine 2. 1. Do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all—
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Furina's acting—
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent...
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court?
Because...
If he had testified that a person had been dissolved.
I thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but at that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already... What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger.
Charges and
all
doing
of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right.
Water in any
What good
court
would that do?
in real life?
How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice? But by staying silent, we retained the ability. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what they—
So, you mean to say, your father
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent. Clorinde. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clorinde...
So, during the duel...
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I fought many battles. and taken a countless number in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faint. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really—
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Indeed.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearance?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet—
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia.
No need to appeal to—
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Oof, don't know what you can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when But the disappearances began before I ever stepped—
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my—
No, it's not your fault.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license? Again, you can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agents, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and many people's images are flashing before my eyes. And whose image do you see? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Alright, finally. am I?
Healthy body, healthy mind.
There might not be any fighting. No, there will be fighting. What's up?
All hail! Hey!
I didn't need to. Fucking it is then.
Yeah! Whoa! The floor is going up!
Elevator battle sequence like in Resident Evil 4.
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Boring.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
They make it so easy.
Next on the agenda...
Convenient even.
The water level is rising! Now we can swim to the top! But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
We're way behind schedule.
Our bond is strong! I see everything! Grow!
No touching!
Out of my way! Bombs away!
With me! Next on the agenda, access denied.
Everyone hold hands. The Temple of Wisdom.
Blaze over.
Stand with me.
This may hurt a little.
Born of ice and frost.
Dissipate.
I see everything.
Go! Our bond is strong.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence. Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth. And that special water is the main. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. But the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating. Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation. Yep, this should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by he can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
I can guess what they're about.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these... Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? And then they were turned into... And all the boxes of things. These snakes...
Oh my god, it's a pot-making lab.
Looks like some kind of place for research.
Let him cook.
Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Females... Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. How can someone write something that terrible and such... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all... But did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
Well, love and insanity are synonyms.
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vacher is the one who did all of these...
Yeah, I figured that out. I already said it out loud, too.
Experiments? So that's it. Vacher was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either. If that's the case, case, why would he want people to resurf? In any case. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial. Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's soup.
There's the drug.
We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true no wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true. Sure thing.
Here it comes. It's a step ladder. Actually, Phoenix, that is a ladder. What does that matter?
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check
There
everything
really is
carefully.
Phoenix, right?
We'll
There's
find
a
something
step
for
ladder.
sure. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks
They're looking
either.
for snacks, I can't believe you.
Whoa, really? What Paimon see? Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lovers? Then you found... Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. So many! A whole page's worth! The final name she decided, Marcel.
I knew it.
Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son? Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Bobby, that's the ship name of Vinier and Var have Marcel as their son, and they've been doing this shit for a while now. Of course, under someone else's higher command still.
And whose image do you see? Is it a man named Vache? Oh. I was...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
As often
It's
as
all right,
necessary
Monsieur
for the
Neuvillette.
truth, baby.
Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
But he's your dad!
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Oh, yeah, sure, that makes sense too.
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything.
I was gonna say the culprit is probably Marcel, but then the diary made me think they were the son, but okay, that was the whole truth. Fine, whatever, fuck
Marcel
me,
as a new
fuck you.
identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
You've clearly not read enough.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination?
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you really think I pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignère's death, well, now you know, don't you? Ha! You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called Vignère is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, but I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I
You
can't
just have
dissolve.
that around you.
Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that. And in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me.
Scooby-Doo.
I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get...
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me. I still need to save Vignère. Vignère, please, Vignère. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill...
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignère. During an underwater expedition, Vignère accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignère back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of you. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, after exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
It really does look like the freaking animation for Star Rail.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserved.
With that, the serial disappearance.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be—
Yippee! He's hurt so many innocent people and now— Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for is finally—
Yeah. It's finally over. See, Papa?
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been— Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me—
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
But he's
already— Come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no doubt. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Well, this sucks. Well, there he goes.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Applies marks too, I forgot his solution is literally just an electro version of his thing. Hey, you shouldn't be bringing that out here.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Neuvillette, what's going on? Ship may have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, You should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it!
What?
I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. If you thought Childe had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable.
He was probably here on orders, but he really just wanted to fight people. And besides, again, he has absolutely nothing.
All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of... Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
No.
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, however, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, well, after all, he's done plenty of bad stuff.
Still not mission complete. May as well continue until it says Act 2 is finished.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Hey.
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
What do you want?
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add it.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name. So...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to... The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers...
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he...
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spirit? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave...
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm there too. Is Primordial Sea literally just pure water or something? You know, pure hydro, no oxygen. Ugh. Very deadly. What else can I do? I don't want to go to sleep yet. If I do, that means it'll be tomorrow. I don't want it to be tomorrow yet. It will be painfully boring.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache!
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm...
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to... You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing. I must be dreaming. Who would have... Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could...
But Vache, if you ask me, if not for you, I would have finished my law degree and if not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the art. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of... It's all because of your selfishness.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am every woman who died by your hand. As our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoid. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not
is Vigniere's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vigniere's.
No! Yeah! She can't hate me. Let me...
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vigniere. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you. Vache.
Vache? Vache? Vache. 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 Vache.
Drown.
Okay, I guess he's dead. It's so funny. Ah, I just realized I could play Undertale Yellow. Yeah, I'll do that. That's probably healthier than continuing to play Genshin right now. My god, these loading screens. If it means playing a game that doesn't have Breath of the Wild loading screens happening every 10 seconds, then I'm all for it. It's raining.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Oh, well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Well, it'll work, but it'll get destroyed.
Now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure...
Sounds like you're really enjoying...
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never... This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court...
So his name's definitely been cleared.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after... well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there. And there was...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back when I first became the I believe the story was called... To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive...
Oh yeah, she told us about that.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that...
Now that's another...
Oh, and in other news,
Oh, are you two on bed...
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, it was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean...
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go
Dang it, I don't want to go attend the grave.
A really admirable person.
I already don't like going to them in real life because they're so boring.
I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After...
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent...
Yeah, you're right.
Are we just ignoring what happened to Child? We'll get to it in Act 3, maybe.
This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest...
Huh? There's someone there already. Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh?
My apologies. I should have asked before.
Don't say that.
Sorry
right, you
about
don't
that.
ask to pay respects to the dead.
I was trying to say there's no need for... I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on In any case, why did you come to
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice, anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature.
Well, the ones with
consider
visions
certain
anyway.
things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callis proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my
he's just
apologies
really
to Mr.
doting to
Callis
his
in
daughter.
person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the Opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not...
Didn't I just say you...
So Navia and Neuvillette seem to... Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there?
Other than flying?
Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon... Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Furina, we can at least talk to him, right?
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay?
We ran into Navia on the streets today.
I see, I see.
Well, it's pretty hard.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water for...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea. Most of Teyvat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could...
Huh. So it really was where everything began.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the... What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly...
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But...
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to... That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Furina crying alone on... Does that appropriately summarize the version?
That's right! It was Lyney that...
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront... Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she...
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro...
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels, and the ability of the people of Fontaine. Speaking of the prophecy, Furina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and if the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum.
But with Furina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to...
He just didn't bother answering. No
My
comment.
apologies. My investigation has... However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not
Huh? But you also said...
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on it. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
So when Lyney told us that he heard...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to... In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. Based on Furina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meropide.
That's going to be your excuse for going to the fortress.
If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like? Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter. And is there anything else? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well.
All right. You've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Wow, holy shit. You mean talk to Neuvillette 2 meters? He's fucking gone.
You know, we've been walking around for a while now. Why don't we go back to the Spina di Rosula base in the court of Fontaine and have a rest? Navia said something about having a place ready for us there, didn't she? Come on, let's go!
That's for the event. Is this so I can do bounties? They should also be able to do... No, still no. Interesting. I guess that makes enough sense. Navia didn't come out until... Oh, here's my Might be fate. This should continue until Act 4. So I'm halfway through at least. Oh hey, I got a constellation for that. That's useful. Perhaps the most important constellation for her. Of course, getting the rest would still be nice. And again, of course, I'm never gonna use her in the Abyss. Just like in real life, I am useless.